Good afternoon, children. Today I will explain about the remaining problems from 5.9. Sorry. 5.101, 5.102, 103. I think this illustration problems completed. Okay, first I will explain these three problems. 5.101. Right. In that one, third one. At which of the following conditions can a gas be liquefied? A gas be liquefied. TC and PC are the critical temperatures and the pressures. Okay, once I will check the options, given options. A equal to T is equal to TC and P less than PC. For critical constant, first depends upon the critical temperature. And the condition must be, the temperature must be less than critical temperature. If you maintain a temperature must be less than critical temperature, the gas is easily liquefied to gas. That is the main condition. After that, critical temperature, you can easily calculate the critical pressure and critical volumes also. So here the critical temperature and applied temperature, these two are same. So two are same means below critical temperature is required for the liquefaction of gas. So it is not a correct answer. So let's check the B. T less than TC. Yes, this is correct. T less than TC. And P equal to PC. Yes, this is correct one. Why? That maintained temperature must be less than critical temperature, and at that time the pressure must be equal to the critical pressure. The applied pressure must be equal to the critical pressure. So this is the answer. Okay, check the remaining two also. C, T greater than TC. It is highly impossible. There is no chance. If we maintain the more than critical temperature, the temperature never liquefied the gas. Next, D. T less than TC. Okay, it is correct. But what about pressure? P less than PC. It is wrong. Why? Because that critical pressure must be equal to the applied pressure. Right? So answer is B. Next, fourth one. Two equal volume flasks A and B. This is one flask, this is another flask. A and B, equal volumes are same. And equal masses are also equal, so weights are also equal. And A contains hydrogen gas, B contains CH4 gas. And temperatures are, this one maintain 100 Kelvin temperature, this one maintain 200 Kelvin temperature. So, assuming ideal behavior, which of the following statements about the compressibility factor is true? For compressibility factor and assuming ideal behavior means that compressibility factor value must be equal to 1. So answer should be Z. Answer is A. Why? Because Z, compressibility factor of H2 must be equal to the compressibility factor of CH4, because both values must be 1 and 1. And this compressibility factor value is 1, and for second one compressibility factor is also 1, because these two are maintains ideal behavior. This one completed. Next one, 5.103. First one is homework. Second one. An ideal gas obeying the kinetic theory of gases can be liquefied. Okay, the one ideal gas is given. That ideal gas obeys kinetic molecular theory of gases. But kinetic molecular theory. In kinetic molecular theory, nearly 7 points are there. This gas obeys all the points, right? Then its temperature is more than its critical temperature. Its pressure is more than its critical pressure. No. Its pressure is more than Pc at a temperature less than Tc. It cannot be liquefied at any volume of pressure and temperature. Yes, this is the correct one. D is the answer. Why? Kinetic molecular theory of gases points, main important points are: there is no attraction and repulsion between the gaseous particles. We know that. There is no attraction and repulsion means there is no chance for compressibility. There is no chance for compressibility means if you apply any pressure on that one, there is no chance for attractions. Otherwise, they will not convert it into the liquids. There is no chance for converting into the liquids. So, if any ideal gas obeys kinetic molecular theory of gases, that gas never liquefied. The gas never liquefied. Remember this point, all of. That's why answer is B. Next, fourth one. The critical temperature of a substance is A. The temperature above which a substance can exist only as a gas. Yes, it is correct answer. Above the critical temperature, the substance only present as a gas. There is no chance for the liquid. Second one, boiling point of the substance. No, wrong answer. All are wrong. No, so answer is 4. Fourth one answer is A. What is the correct statement here? Above the critical temperature, if you maintain any temperature, the substance is always gas. Okay, this set is completed. Come to the solid examples. Solid examples. These problems. Okay? In solid examples, 5.1. 5.1. (5.1) 100 ml of hydrogen was confined in a diffusion tube and exposed to air. Okay, in one tube actually 100 ml of hydrogen is present. Okay, and at equilibrium a volume of 26 ml of air was measured in the tube. Once again I repeat, listen carefully. 100 ml of hydrogen was confined in a diffusion tube. One diffusion tube is present. In this tube, 100 ml of hydrogen is present. 100 ml of hydrogen is present. Okay, and exposed to air, and at equilibrium, a volume of 26.1 ml of air was measured in the tube. Okay, at equilibrium means this tube is present in the air. How much air is present? 26.1 ml of air is also present. Okay, right. Again, when 100 ml of CO2 gas, take another tube. In this tube, 100 ml of CO2 gas is present. In the same tube, if you take the same tube, 100 ml of carbon dioxide is filled. It is exposed to air. How much is measured? Air is 123 ml of air is measured. Okay, in the tube at the equilibrium. Find the molecular weight of CO2. What is the molecular weight of H2? Molecular weight of H2 is, this is taken as M1, this is taken as 2. We know that 2. Now apply rate of diffusion of these two gases. For first one hydrogen, this is the hydrogen gas is present in the tube, and how much is diffused in air? This is the total one, so that is 26.1 ml. 26.1 ml. So First R1 is equal to rate of diffusion of H2 by rate of diffusion of air. Sir, why are you writing rates? That means already the diffused values are given. So in the tube, how much hydrogen gas is diffused? 100 ml. So how much air is diffused? 26.1 ml. In the same tube, now filled with carbon dioxide gas, that is also 100 ml diffused. But how much air is diffused here? 123 ml. So simply calculate the R1. The R1 is equal to hydrogen 100 and air is 26.1. This is R1. Now for what is second one? Carbon dioxide. Now R2 is equal to rate of diffusion of CO2 by rate of diffusion of air. Okay, rate of diffusion of carbon dioxide is 100 and rate of diffusion of air is 123 ml. Okay, Nana? Now calculate R1 by R2. R1 by R2 is equal to, generally formula is M2 by M1. This is equal to R1 value 100 by 26.1 by 100 by 123. This is 100 by 26.1 into, this is reverse, 123 by 100. 100 cancel. So 123 by 26.1. But it is very clear in this one, root M2 by M1. M2 means that is unknown value. So root over M2 is unknown by M1 is 2 grams. 2 is equal to 123 by 26.1. Okay, Nana? Right. This square root is moved to that side, that is square. So M2 by 2 is equal to 123 into 123 by 26.1 into 26.1. This 2 is moved to that side. So M2 is equal to 2 into this value, torque value, this value right here. So final one, the answer is 44.42. I think you expected, sir, we know that carbon dioxide molecular weight, sir, that is 44. Then why are you calculating this one means? But not accurate value is present here. That is 44.42. This is not, of course, it is approximately equal to 44. But in this type of problems, answer is given like in decimals. That's why you have to calculate. Okay. So this problem is completed. Next, 5.2. Nana. 5.2. A given volume of oxygen containing 20% by volume of ozone. 20%. So actually it is a mixer. Okay. So one mixer is present. In that mixer, O2 and O3 are present. Okay, but ozone is 20% is present. Ozone is 20%, but ozone is 20% in this mixer. Right. For time taken for a given volume of volume is given, that is V. So volume is not mentioned perfectly, value. containing 20% by volume of oxygen required 175 seconds to effuse. So time is given. How much time is taken for the effusion? That is 175 seconds. Okay, when an equal volume of oxygen, so another one is oxygen is given. That oxygen equal volume is V is equals. In both cases, V's are same, volumes are same, and time taken, that is T2 equal to 167 seconds. Under similar conditions, find the density of ozone. Find the density of ozone. Density of ozone we have to calculate here. But we know that O2 molecular weight of O2 is equal to 32. So the density is here for gases. Density is nothing but vapor density. So density of O2 is equal to 32 by 2, that is 16. Why? What is the formula? Vapor density is equal to 2 into molecular weight. Based on this formula, density is molecular weight is equal to 2 into vapor density. So vapor density is nothing but density here. So density is equal to molecular weight by 2, that is 16. Okay. Now apply for first one. R1 is equal to, here R1 is equal to, this is V1, this is V2, but remember all of you, V1 is equal to V2 here. V1 is equal to V2. So V1 by T1, that value is V1 means V. V1 means just take a V, same, because both are same. Both are same, V by T1 is equal to 175. And for R2, for second one, V by 167. Okay. So R1 by R2 is equal to R1 by R2 is equal to R1 V by 175 by V by 167. This is equal to V by 175 into 167 by V. Both are cancelled. This is 167 by 175. 167 by 170. This is R1 by R2 value. But we know that R1 by R2 is equal to root over D2 by D1. Root over D2 by D1. Right? So here D2 means oxygen. D2 means oxygen. That value is 16 by D1 is equal to that is D1. What is the D1 here? D1 means D1 is equal to density of mixture. Density of mixture. Remember that mixture is given. So density of what is the mixture? O2 and O3. Both sides. Okay. R1, what is the R1 by R2 value? 167 by 175 is equal to root over 16 by that mixture of density of O2 plus O3. This square root is moved to that side, that is square. So 167 into 167 by 175 into 175. This is equal to 16 by density of O2 plus O3. This one move to this side, this one move to that side. So density of O2 plus O3 is equal to 16 into 175 into 175 by 167 into 167. Okay, the final answer this one is 17.57. Are you understand? Right. Now, so that mixture densities, the densities of the mixture is 17.57. Okay, na? So density of O2 plus O3 is 17.57. But O2 is how much percentage here present in this one? O2 is 80 percentage. In the mixture, O3 is 20 percentage. O3 is 20 percentage. Then O2 is automatically 80 percentage. 80 percentage. So 20 percentage means how much? 20 percentage O3 means how much? That is 20 into O3 we didn't know, that is DO3, density of O3 by 100 plus the density of O2 is 80 into 16. Oxygen density is 16 by 100. That this total must be equal to the 17.57. Just remember all of you how to calculate, for example, for O2. Actually O2 taught how much percentage is given here, that is equal to 80 percentage is given into 100 percentage is calculated like this. Total one is the density is total is 16 here, okay. This is the density value, we don't know this value, but the total density of O2 is 16. So 80 percentage means in 16 how much is 80 percentage? Okay, so that is right like this. This one going to be said 80 into 16 by 100. Or another way, actually 16 grams means 100 percentage. Then 80 percentage means how much is value? So that is question mark. So 16 into 80 by 100, right? So the density of O3 and plus density of O2 equal to 17.57. After calculating this one, calculating means LCM is 100. Okay, that will move to that side. Then 20 into D3 plus 80 into 16 equal to, this 100 is multiplied with this one, so 1757. So 80 into 16, this value move to this side, that is subtract. After that, this 20 moved that side, divided. So finally, D3 equal to 23.85. 23.85. Okay, Nana? Right. This is completed. Right. Next problem. Next 5.3. Actually, this problem is completely based on the physics. Okay? Okay. A gas filled freely collapsible balloon is pushed from the surface level of a lake to a depth of 100 meters. First, actually, one lake is present. This is one lake. Okay, for example, this is the surface of the lake. This is the surface of the lake. Right? So, initially, one balloon is present here. One balloon is present. First, initially, present at the surface. Right? After that, a balloon is pushed from the surface level of a lake to a depth of 100 meters. That is pushed to the 100 meters. This height is 100 up to this one. 100 meters. Up to 100 meters. This distance is 100 meters here. Means height 100 meters. Okay, approximately. What percentage of its original volume will be balloon finally have? So how much percentage of balloon finally have? So initially some volume is present in the balloon. After pushing into the water up to the depth or up to the height 100 meters, we have to calculate, right? First we have to calculate the initially pressure, that is surface, pressure is at surface is equal to, on the surface of the lake, that is room temperature or the standard temperature pressure is maintained, that is 1 atmosphere. Remember this one, all of you. and this is equal to 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals. We know that 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals. This is present, and volume is V. Volume is V. Volume is equal to V. Okay, initially, so on the surface, volume of the balloon is V and the pressure is 1.013 10 to the power of 5 pascal. Okay, right. After pushing, how much that is total to that outside, that is initial pressure, and also into the depth of 100 meters, that pressure is also included. Total two pressures are acting here. So pressure at, this is taken as P1, pressure at depth 100 meters, that is equal to the pressure at surface plus pressure at depth. Pressure at the 100 meters means pressure at surface plus pressure at depth. Calculate these two because it is present in the water. Remember this point, this is completely based on physics. We know that pressure at depth, pressure at surface is the value, we know that 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals. Plus pressure at depth, one formula is there, that is dGH. What is the formula? dGH. For example, if you take any object, push inside the water, the formula, calculate the pressure from that object is dGH. Right here, D means density of water. Remember all of you, D is density of water, and G is accelerated due to gravity, and H is height. Now write here, that is 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 pascal, plus D is the density is, that is 1000. Density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. Remember all of you, kg per meter cube into G, that is G value is 9.8 meter per second square, and height is given, that is 100 meters. Okay, now here meter and meter cube is, so meter power 1. Okay, now write 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals plus 1000 into 100 means 10 to the power of 5, so 9.8 into 10 to the power of 5 kg remains, check the remains kg, meter power -1, second power -2, but this value is equal to the pascal. This unit is called pascal. So simply 10 to the power of 5 is common. It is also present in pascals. It is also present in the pascals. So 10 to the power of 5 common, 1.013 plus 9.8 into 10 to the power of 5. This is equal to 9 plus 1, 10.813 into 10 to the power of 5. Okay, this is pressure. This is P2 value. So P1 value we know that, P2 value also we know that. Now calculate formula P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. P1 is, this is P1 value. But we want V2 value. V2 we know, we didn't know this one. So V2 is equal to P1 V1 by P2. Right? So P1 value is 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 by V1, that is taken as V, that is V. P2 value is 10.813 into 10 to the power of 5. These two are cancelled. So 1.013 by 10.813 is equal to 0.093 V. But we want it percentages, just multiply it with 100. So 0.093 into 100, that is equal to 9.3 percentage. So this percentage of volume, okay, will be finally present in the balloon. Only 9.3 percentage of the volume is present in the balloon, because we applied so much pressure on the balloon at the depth of the 100 meters. Okay, Nana? Right, this problem also completed. Next, 5.14. 1 mole of CCl4, the given one is N is equal to 1 mole. And CCl4 vapours at 77 degrees centigrade. CCl4, 1 mole of CCl4, right, at 77 degrees centigrade, means temperature is given, that is 77 degrees centigrade. So 77 degrees centigrade means the temperature value is approximately 77 plus 273, 7 plus 3, 10, 1, plus 8 plus 7, 15, 350 Kelvin. Temperature is given, okay. And volume also given, V is equal to 35 liters. 35 liters. And van der Waals constant, A value is given, A is equal to 20.39 liters square, atmosphere, mole power -2. And B value is also given 0.1383 liter mole inverse. Okay, calculate the compressibility values. So what is the first condition? A, at low pressure. At low pressure. Okay, at low pressure, calculate the compressibility factor. At low pressure means, if for example air pressure is applied, that volume is decreases. That's why you are writing V minus P. Generally, see pressure. Actually, what is the van der Waals equation here? 1 mole for 1 mole of gas, P plus A by V square into V minus B equal to, actually nRT, so but n is equal to 1 RT. Right? Now, at low pressure, this value V minus B value is V. Why? At low pressure, the volume is not decreases. So only complete volume is present. So P plus A by V square into V equal to RT. Okay, right. So multiply with V. P into V, PV, plus A by V square into V, A by V is equal to RT. Is equal to RT. Now both sides divided with RT. So PV by RT plus A by VRT is equal to 1. So PV by RT is the Z factor. PV by RT for 1 mole, Z is equal to PV by nRT. For 1 mole, Z is N is equal to 1. So Z is equal to PV by RT. We want Z value. So Z is equal to this value into that is 1 minus A by VRT. We know that A value, we know that V value, we know that R value, we know that T value substituted here. Finally, we got the Z compressibility factor value for this at low pressures. Now second one, B. At high pressure, at high pressures. Calculate the compressibility factor here also. Actually, at high pressure, no need to already maintains high pressure. Then no need to write this value, extra pressure value, A by V square. So only directly P value is present. So P into V minus B is equal to RT. Right? So PV minus PB is equal to RT. Again, both sides divided with RT. PV by RT minus PB by RT is equal to 1. This PV by RT means Z factor. Okay, Nana? So this minus PB by RT move to that side plus. So Z is equal to 1 plus PB by RT. PV by RT. But we know that PV by RT is equal to 1. PV by RT is equal to 1. But P by RT, this part, this V move to that side. P by RT is equal to 1 by V. So this P by RT replaced with 1 by V. So this is equal to 1 plus B by V. We know that V value. Substituted here, calculate the Z factor value for this problem. Okay, simply up to 5.14, these are all problems completed. Solve the remaining problems. These are all very easy. Maximum depends upon the diet formulas only. There is no twists. So complete the problems. Tomorrow I will explain the exercises, linked comprehension type, matchings. Okay, Nana? Multiple characters type questions. Tomorrow I will explain. Okay, Nana? So we have to complete total problems in the Cengage book. That is our target. Right? Thank you very much.